Hello, friends. If you're curious about the movie Léon, the professional from 1994, you're in the perfect place. Don't forget to give this video a quick like, it really helps us out. And if you're new here, hit subscribe to stay updated on all the latest movie deep dives. Let's jump right in. In the bustling streets of New York City, where shadows stretch long and danger lurks around every corner, a quietly intense story unfolds. A tale that blends unlikely friendship, raw survival instincts, and a collision of innocence with deadly precision. It is a story that dares to venture into the complexities of human connection amidst violence and loss, inviting us to peer into the lives of two souls bound by fate and circumstance. At its heart, this film centers on Léon, a solitary figure whose life is defined by discipline and detachment. A hitman by profession, his existence is ruled by the rules of his trade: efficiency, anonymity, and an unyielding code. Living a sparse, almost monastic life in a small apartment, he is a man shaped by solitude and a singular focus on survival. Yet beneath this hardened exterior beats a heart capable of tenderness, revealed in subtle glances and quiet moments. The city itself feels both claustrophobic and alive, its labyrinthine alleys and high-rise apartments serving as a stage for this dance of danger and humanity. The story takes a sharp turn with the arrival of Matilda, a spirited 12-year-old girl thrust into chaos by the violent murder of her family. Their worlds collide in a sudden, explosive moment that catapults her into Léon's secluded existence. What begins as reluctant shelter soon blossoms into a profound bond, an unconventional mentorship where innocence meets deadly skill, and survival demands both courage and heart. Matilda is no ordinary child. Beneath her youthful facade lies a fierce determination and a burning desire for justice that will challenge the stoic assassin's guarded nature. Together, they navigate a city rife with corruption and menace, their relationship evolving amid gunfire, whispered secrets, and stolen moments of vulnerability. The tension between Léon's professionalism and Matilda's youthful impulsiveness creates a compelling dynamic, one that oscillates between tenderness and tension, protection and rebellion. The film masterfully explores themes of trust and redemption, weaving them through sequences that pulse with suspense and emotional complexity. The narrative accelerates as a powerful antagonist emerges, a corrupt, ruthless DEA agent whose obsession with control and destruction threatens to shatter the fragile sanctuary Léon has built. His pursuit introduces a dangerous game of cat and mouse, escalating stakes that draw both protector and protégé into a deadly confrontation. The layers of deceit and power struggle peel back to reveal motives dark and personal, turning the city's streets into a battleground where loyalty and survival are constantly tested. Visually, the film is a symphony of stark contrasts, the cold, industrial cityscape juxtaposed against intimate interiors where whispered confidences and plans are exchanged. Cinematic techniques heighten the mood. Tight framing captures the claustrophobia of urban life and emotional confinement, while fluid camera movements accompany moments of action and escape, drawing viewers into the visceral heartbeat of the story. The lighting shifts, from shadowy obscurity to sharp illumination, reflect the characters' inner turmoil and the shifting tides of danger and hope. The soundtrack, blending a haunting score with eclectic contemporary tracks, amplifies the film's emotional resonance, underscoring moments of tension, tenderness, and transformation. Sound design weaves the cacophony of the city with the quiet stillness of personal encounters, crafting an auditory landscape that is as layered as the narrative itself. At its core, this film is an exploration of unexpected kinship, a meditation on the search for connection in a fractured world. It challenges conventions, weaving together elements of thriller, drama, and a poignant coming-of-age tale. The relationship between Léon and Matilda is fraught with complexities: protector and child, mentor and pupil, stranger and family, rendered with nuance that refuses easy categorization. As the story unfolds, viewers are drawn into a crescendo of suspense and emotion, where every choice carries weight and every moment pulses with the potential for loss or redemption. Major twists reveal the depths of character and the price of survival, culminating in a climax that is as heartbreaking as it is unforgettable. The film does not shy away from the shadows but illuminates them, inviting us to witness the fragile beauty that can emerge even in the darkest places. Prepare to be immersed in a cinematic experience that lingers, one that challenges, moves, and thrills. This is a story of survival and sacrifice, innocence and experience, a haunting portrait of two lives intertwined in a city that never sleeps. Let's delve deeper into the layers of this captivating narrative, where every frame tells a story and every silence speaks volumes. The film's story begins in the heart of New York City, where the bustling streets hum with a restless energy, an urban jungle where survival demands vigilance and toughness. In a cramped, dimly lit apartment, Léon lives a solitary, regimented existence. His life is defined by routine and silence, punctuated only by the mechanical precision of his work as a hitman. A man of few words, he moves through the world like a shadow, unseen and unbothered by the chaos that surrounds him. His sparse apartment, with its single potted plant, a small, living companion, is a metaphor for his restrained humanity, a sliver of life carefully nurtured amid the harshness. Léon's world is ordered and efficient. He follows strict rules, avoids attachments, and handles his business with cold professionalism. His daily life revolves around careful planning and execution, whether it's the elimination of targets or the management of his meager living space. He keeps his distance from people, his face often obscured by a beanie and dark glasses, his eyes rarely revealing emotion. But beneath this hardened exterior lies a man shaped by loss and loneliness, whose few moments of softness hint at deeper complexities. This ordered life is violently disrupted by the arrival of Matilda, a spirited 12-year-old girl who lives in the same building. Her family is entwined in a dangerous web of corruption, led by Norman Stansfield, a volatile DEA agent whose abuse of power knows no bounds. When Matilda's family becomes the target of Stansfield's wrath, executed in a brutal raid that leaves her the sole survivor, her world collapses. With nowhere else to turn, she seeks refuge in Léon's apartment, forcing their disparate lives to collide. At first, Léon is reluctant to get involved. The intrusion into his controlled existence threatens the fragile equilibrium he maintains. Yet, there is something about Matilda's courage and vulnerability that stirs a protective instinct within him. She, in turn, is drawn to Léon's quiet strength and mysterious presence, a stark contrast to the chaos and danger she's fled. Their relationship begins awkwardly, marked by distance and unspoken tension, but soon develops into a bond forged through necessity and mutual understanding. Matilda's personality is a striking blend of youthful innocence and hardened determination. She navigates her trauma with a blend of precociousness and grit, demanding Léon teach her the skills she needs to survive and seek revenge. This request sets the stage for a complex mentorship, an exchange that transcends age and experience, mixing tenderness with the cold calculus of survival. Matilda's persistence challenges Léon's rigid detachment, drawing him out of isolation and into the uncertain realm of human connection. As their days unfold together, the film carefully builds the emotional layers of their relationship. Shared meals, quiet conversations, and moments of vulnerability reveal the humanity beneath their tough exteriors. Léon introduces Matilda to the discipline of his craft, precision, patience, and control, while Matilda's youthful energy and fierce will crack open his defenses. Their interactions balance moments of warmth with the ever-present tension of their dangerous reality. Meanwhile, the looming threat of Stansfield casts a dark shadow over their fragile sanctuary. His erratic and violent nature drives the film's escalating tension. His corruption and brutality represent a systemic evil that extends beyond personal vendetta, embodying the chaotic forces that make survival a daily struggle. Stansfield's pursuit of Matilda and Léon injects urgency into the narrative, transforming the city into a battleground where every corner hides peril. The film's pacing during this segment expertly balances quiet character development with sudden bursts of violence. Action sequences are sharp and kinetic, punctuating the otherwise measured rhythm of Léon and Matilda's evolving relationship. Each confrontation with Stansfield's henchmen underscores the stakes, while intimate scenes emphasize the growing bond and the cost of isolation. Notably, the film explores themes of innocence lost and surrogate family. Matilda, forced into premature adulthood, finds in Léon not just protection but a father figure and mentor. This dynamic challenges traditional notions of family and belonging, highlighting the healing power of connection amid trauma. Léon's gradual opening to Matilda reveals a yearning for redemption and human warmth long suppressed by his solitary existence. The city itself plays an active role in the narrative. Its streets, alleys, and rooftops are both playground and prison, reflecting the characters' internal states. Urban noise and claustrophobic spaces heighten the sense of entrapment, while moments of open sky suggest fleeting hope. The interplay of light and shadow throughout their environment mirrors the oscillation between danger and tenderness in their lives. Early plot developments also introduce secondary characters who enrich the story's texture. Tony, a close friend and fellow hitman, provides moments of levity and camaraderie, as well as insights into Léon's professional code. His interactions underscore Léon's solitary nature and hint at the emotional walls he's built. Other peripheral figures flesh out the urban landscape, illustrating the complex social milieu that surrounds the protagonists. As the narrative progresses, Léon's protective instincts intensify. He takes steps to shield Matilda from the dangers she faces, training her with increasing seriousness while navigating his own conflicting feelings. The film delicately balances this mentorship with the ambiguous undertones of their relationship, handled with sensitivity and complexity that invite reflection rather than easy judgment. The tension reaches a crescendo when Matilda embarks on her own quest for vengeance, defying Léon's warnings and exposing herself to lethal risk. This act of defiance both propels the plot forward and deepens their emotional entanglement. Léon's response reveals the depth of his care and the limits of his control, setting up conflicts that will define the story's trajectory. Throughout this portion of the film, the themes of survival, trust, and redemption interweave seamlessly. The characters' internal struggles mirror the external threats they face, creating a layered narrative that is as much about emotional survival as it is about physical danger. Moments of silence and reflection punctuate the action, allowing the weight of their experiences to settle and resonate. Visually, the film employs a palette and composition that reinforce these themes. The muted tones of Léon's apartment contrast with the chaotic, neon-lit streets, reflecting the dichotomy between his ordered life and the unpredictable world outside. Close-ups capture fleeting emotions, fear, hope, determination, drawing viewers into the intimate spaces between words and actions. Sound design amplifies this immersive experience. The city's ambient noise, the distant sirens, traffic hum, and murmurs of conversation, creates a living backdrop. The score, sparing yet impactful, underscores moments of tension and tenderness, guiding emotional responses without overwhelming the narrative. By the midpoint, the story has laid a foundation rich with character complexity and narrative tension. The relationship between Léon and Matilda is firmly established, nuanced with shades of vulnerability and strength. The looming menace of Stansfield promises escalating conflict, while the cityscape serves as both setting and symbol, a place of danger, refuge, and transformation. This phase of the story invites viewers into a world where trust is fragile, alliances are forged in fire, and survival demands both skill and heart. It challenges preconceptions about innocence and danger, drawing us into a tale where redemption is as vital as revenge, and where the bonds between two unlikely companions may be the only hope against a relentless storm. As we follow these unfolding events, we are compelled not only by the action but by the deeply human story at the center, a story of connection born out of chaos, of hope kindled in darkness, and of the courage to face a world that offers little mercy. The narrative's pulse quickens as the city's shadows grow deeper and the stakes rise higher, propelling Léon and Matilda into a crucible of danger, loyalty, and sacrifice. The second arc of their story shifts from the tentative formation of their bond to its ultimate test, a journey fraught with escalating peril, profound emotional revelations, and a crescendo of choices that will forever alter their lives. Following Matilda's bold step into the perilous realm of vengeance, the film delves into the consequences of her actions. Her attempt to strike back at the corrupt agent who destroyed her family is as much a cry for justice as it is a declaration of self-empowerment. Yet this defiance comes with a price. Léon, though protective and skilled, finds himself confronted with the limits of his solitary existence when forced to step fully into the role of guardian and mentor. As their enemies close in, The film weaves a tense tapestry of pursuit and evasion. Léon's expertise as a hitman comes to the forefront, his every move calculated to outwit Stansfield's relentless forces. The action sequences are visceral and precise. Gunfights erupt in claustrophobic hallways, rooftop chases blur the line between danger and desperation, and moments of quiet stillness between bursts of violence underscore the precariousness of survival. The choreography of these scenes captures both the physical toll and psychological strain experienced by the protagonists. Central to this part of the story is the evolving emotional landscape between Léon and Matilda. Their relationship, once tentative and fraught with unspoken tensions, matures into a profound connection that defies conventional categories. The film navigates this complexity with sensitivity, portraying moments of tenderness and trust amidst the chaos. Scenes where they share small, intimate gestures, a glance, a touch, a shared meal, serve as emotional anchors in a world swirling with uncertainty. Léon's internal conflicts deepen as he grapples with the protective instincts awakened by Matilda's presence and the ghost of his own past. Flashbacks and subtle hints reveal layers of his character, loss, loneliness, and a yearning for redemption that add richness to his motivations. His efforts to teach Matilda the discipline and precision of his craft become symbolic acts of hope, attempts to equip her not only for survival but for reclaiming agency in a hostile world. The antagonist's presence grows ever more menacing. Stansfield's descent into obsession and cruelty drives the narrative tension to its breaking point. His disregard for law and morality paints him as a force of chaos, embodying the corruption and brutality Léon and Matilda must confront. The cat-and-mouse game intensifies, with Stansfield closing the net with increasing ruthlessness, forcing the protagonists into a desperate stand. A pivotal turning point arrives with a violent confrontation that shakes the foundations of Léon's carefully controlled world. Betrayal, sacrifice, and the raw cost of survival come to the fore in a sequence that blends heartbreak with brutal action. The consequences ripple through the narrative, forcing Léon to confront the limits of his detachment and the depths of his commitment to Matilda. The film's climax unfolds with a blend of strategic brilliance and emotional catharsis. Léon's final stand against Stansfield's forces is not merely a battle for survival but an assertion of love and loyalty. The precision and intensity of the action sequences underscore the weight of his choices, while quieter moments interspersed reveal the human cost beneath the violence. The choreography of the climax balances spectacle with intimacy, ensuring that every shot serves both narrative and emotional purpose. Matilda's journey reaches its own poignant apex. Her growth from a traumatized child to a determined survivor culminates in a moment of agency that is both heartbreaking and hopeful. The film does not shy away from the complexities of her experience, her innocence forever altered, her strength born of necessity, and invites viewers to witness her transformation with empathy and respect. The resolution offers a bittersweet but powerful conclusion. Léon's fate intertwines with Matilda's future, sealing their bond in ways both tragic and transcendent. The final scenes linger on themes of sacrifice, memory, and the enduring impact of connection forged in adversity. The cityscape, once a maze of danger, becomes a silent witness to their story, a testament to lives lived on the edge and hearts that dared to hope. Visually, the film sustains its evocative use of light and shadow, color and composition, to mirror the narrative's emotional currents. The interplay of darkness and illumination during key sequences amplifies the tension and release, while close-ups capture fleeting expressions that speak volumes. Sound design continues to envelop viewers, with the cacophony of urban life juxtaposed against moments of quiet reflection and musical motifs that underscore themes of loss and resilience. Symbolism weaves through the climax and denouement, deepening the story's resonance. Léon's solitary plant, a symbol of life and care amid desolation, takes on new meaning as a metaphor for nurture, hope, and continuity. The recurring imagery of doors and thresholds culminates in moments of crossing and closure, representing both endings and new beginnings. The film's ending, while marked by loss, is suffused with a sense of enduring spirit. It honors the complexity of its characters, acknowledging the scars of violence while celebrating the strength born from connection. This balance leaves audiences with a lingering emotional impact, A mixture of sorrow, hope, and reflection, and the aftermath of the climax, the narrative gestures toward renewal and legacy. Matilda's future, hinted at with cautious optimism, suggests the possibility of healing and growth beyond the shadows of her past. Léon's sacrifice becomes a catalyst for transformation, his story woven into the fabric of hers in a lasting, poignant bond. Throughout this second segment, the film sustains a masterful tension between action and emotion, spectacle and subtlety. It navigates difficult themes with care, never trivializing the pain but also never losing sight of the resilience and humanity at the story's core. The journey from conflict to resolution is as much internal as external. Characters confront their fears, redefine their identities, and forge new paths through the wreckage of their lives. This layered storytelling ensures that the film resonates on multiple levels, engaging viewers intellectually, emotionally, and viscerally. In essence, the second half of the narrative is a powerful testament to the complexity of survival and the transformative power of connection. It weaves together threads of loyalty, sacrifice, and hope into a tapestry that is both harrowing and deeply moving. The climax and resolution honor the characters' journeys, offering a conclusion that is as memorable as it is meaningful, an enduring exploration of love and loss amid the unforgiving rhythms of a city that never sleeps. Within the labyrinth of Léon, the professional, the characters emerge not merely as figures driving a plot, but as profoundly complex beings whose inner landscapes reflect the film's intricate themes of survival, connection, and transformation. To understand this story is to delve deeply into the souls of its two central figures, Léon and Matilda, whose unlikely bond becomes the emotional axis around which the narrative turns. Their intricacies, contradictions, and evolving dynamics offer a compelling study in humanity's capacity for resilience and tenderness amidst chaos. Léon, the titular professional, is an enigma shaped by solitude, discipline, and a concealed well of emotion. At first glance, he appears as the archetype of the stoic hitman, silent, efficient, and solitary. His existence is marked by ritual. Early mornings spent cleaning weapons, evenings nurturing his single-potted plant, and days punctuated by cold executions of precise violence. Yet beneath this veneer of detachment lies a man burdened by loss and yearning for connection. His muted demeanor masks a rich interiority, revealed only in moments of quiet vulnerability and the gradual thawing of his guarded heart. Léon's character is a study in contrasts. Professionally, he embodies control and detachment. Personally, he craves care and belonging. His interactions with the world are governed by a strict moral code. He refrains from unnecessary harm, shows kindness to neighbors, and maintains an almost childlike reverence for his plant, symbolizing life and hope. This duality renders him both formidable and tender, a man capable of deadly precision yet profoundly human in his longing for connection. His relationship with Matilda catalyzes a profound transformation. Léon steps into roles he had long avoided, protector, mentor, almost father figure, challenging his self-imposed isolation. His teaching of survival skills to Matilda is as much an act of self-healing as it is of empowerment, revealing his capacity for love in a world that has often demanded detachment. The evolution of his character arc is subtle yet powerful, grounded in moments of shared vulnerability and the silent understanding that grows between them. Matilda, by contrast, is a whirlwind of contradictions and raw energy, a child forced into premature adulthood by tragedy and trauma. At 12 years old, she embodies the tension between innocence and a hardened will, navigating a brutal world with a mixture of curiosity, anger, and desperate hope. Her spirited defiance masks a deep-seated vulnerability. She is at once a survivor and a seeker, craving justice, love, and belonging. Her characterization defies simple categorization. She is no passive victim. Rather, she actively asserts agency, insisting on learning Léon's lethal craft not out of fantasy, but as a means of survival and retribution. Matilda's precociousness is tempered by moments of genuine childlike wonder and need, making her a fully realized character whose complexity challenges viewers' expectations. Her interactions oscillate between playfulness and seriousness, reflecting the fractured but resilient nature of her psyche. The dynamic between Léon and Matilda is central to the film's emotional power. Their bond transcends conventional definitions, existing in a space of mutual dependence and unspoken understanding. Léon becomes a guardian of sorts, sheltering Matilda from the world's violence while grappling with his own emotional barriers. Matilda, in turn, brings vitality and challenge to Léon's ordered existence, prompting him to confront feelings he had long suppressed. This relationship is fraught with tension, ambiguity, and tenderness. The film navigates these complexities with sensitivity, avoiding simplistic interpretations. Their connection is depicted as both necessary and transformative, underscoring themes of found family and healing through human contact. Supporting characters add texture and depth to the narrative, serving as mirrors and foils to the protagonists. Norman Stansfield, the corrupt DEA agent, is a volatile antagonist whose unpredictability and moral decay amplify the film's tension. His erratic behavior and brutal tactics embody institutional corruption and unchecked power, providing a stark contrast to Léon's disciplined code. Stansfield's menacing presence is a catalyst for much of the film's conflict, his interactions with other characters underscoring themes of abuse and injustice. Tony, Léon's friend and fellow hitman, offers glimpses into Léon's professional world and personal history. His lighter, more humorous demeanor provides relief amidst the film's darker moments and highlights Léon's isolation. Tony's fate serves as a grim reminder of the dangers inherent in their world, intensifying the stakes for Léon and Matilda. The film's nuanced portrayal extends to minor characters as well, who populate the urban landscape with authenticity. Neighbors, henchmen, and family members contribute to the texture of the story, their lives intersecting with the protagonists in ways that underscore themes of community, violence, and survival. Visually and narratively, the characters are crafted with attention to detail that enhances their psychological depth. Costume design subtly reflects personality and evolution. Léon's simple, utilitarian attire contrasts with Matilda's youthful, colorful clothing, marking their divergent worlds. As the story progresses, shifts in their appearance mirror internal changes and growing interdependence. Dialogue and performance reveal layers of motivation and emotion. Léon's sparse speech and measured tone convey restraint and hidden pain, while Matilda's rapid-fire, sometimes abrasive language expresses her defiance and vulnerability. Their exchanges are charged with subtext, revealing as much through silence and gesture as through words. The characters embody broader themes of innocence corrupted and resilience forged in adversity. Léon's solitary nature and moral code highlight the possibility of humanity within violence, while Matilda's fierce spirit challenges notions of childhood and agency. Their interplay raises questions about love, protection, and the possibility of redemption. Ultimately, the film's characters are its beating heart, complex, flawed, and deeply human. Their journeys invite viewers to explore the nuances of connection amidst chaos, the transformative power of compassion, and the enduring struggle to find meaning and belonging in a fractured world. Through their eyes, the story becomes a meditation on survival, love, and the fragile beauty of human bonds forged in the most unlikely places. The making of this film is a story unto itself, a fascinating tapestry woven with unexpected twists, quirky moments, and little-known anecdotes that reveal the heart and humor behind a project often remembered for its intensity and emotional depth. Beyond the taut narrative and unforgettable performances lies a world of creative challenges, serendipitous discoveries, and human stories that add layers of richness to the cinematic experience. Exploring these strangest facts invites us to peek behind the curtain, uncovering the magic and mayhem that shaped this beloved classic. One of the most intriguing aspects of the production centers on the casting process, which was as unconventional as the film's tone. Jean Reno, who portrays the enigmatic Léon, was cast not only for his striking presence and commanding performance but also for his unique ability to convey vulnerability beneath a tough exterior. What many don't know is that Reno was relatively unknown to American audiences at the time, making his portrayal all the more remarkable. His European sensibility and understated style brought a fresh dimension to the hitman archetype, blending toughness with a tender humanity that became a signature of the film. Natalie Portman's role as Matilda marked her film debut at the tender age of 12, a fact that adds a layer of poignancy and awe to her performance. Selected from hundreds of hopefuls, Portman's precocious talent and maturity impressed the filmmakers beyond expectation. Behind the scenes, she was known for her professionalism and curiosity, often engaging deeply with the script and director to understand the complex emotional terrain of her character. Her youth, juxtaposed with the film's gritty themes, sparked both controversy and admiration, contributing to discussions about child actors in intense roles. Gary Oldman's portrayal of Norman Stansfield is a masterclass in controlled chaos. His performance as the unhinged DEA agent is both terrifying and magnetic. An unusual production anecdote reveals that Oldman chose to bring a physicality to Stansfield that involved erratic movements and unpredictable behavior on set, sometimes improvising during takes to heighten tension. His commitment to the role created an electric atmosphere, with co-stars recalling moments when his intense presence kept everyone on edge. Oldman's portrayal has since become iconic, influencing portrayals of villains in cinema. Director Luc Besson's vision shaped the film's distinctive blend of stylized violence and emotional depth. His background in French cinema and passion for visually striking storytelling informed the film's aesthetic choices. Interestingly, Besson faced significant pressure during production to tone down certain elements, especially regarding the complex relationship between Léon and Matilda. However, his insistence on maintaining the story's emotional honesty led to a final product that is both provocative and deeply human. Behind the scenes, Besson was known for fostering a collaborative set environment, encouraging actors to explore their characters' nuances and improvisations that often enriched the script. The film's shooting locations also harbor fascinating stories. Much of the action was filmed in New York City, with several iconic sites providing authentic urban backdrops. One particularly memorable location was a now-demolished building in Manhattan's Lower East Side, which served as Léon's apartment. The cramped, dimly lit interiors were meticulously designed to reflect the character's solitary life. On location, the crew often contended with the unpredictability of city life, unexpected crowds, noise interruptions, and the challenge of filming action sequences in tight urban spaces. These real-world complications contributed to the film's gritty realism. Special effects and stunt coordination were both innovative and practical. The filmmakers favored in-camera effects and carefully choreographed stunts over heavy reliance on CGI, lending authenticity to the action scenes. For instance, the iconic shootouts were rehearsed extensively to ensure safety and realism, with actors and stunt performers working closely to capture intensity without sacrificing believability. Some sequences required creative solutions, such as using real bullets loaded with blanks combined with carefully timed camera angles to simulate gunfire, demonstrating a commitment to visceral impact. One quirky behind-the-scenes tidbit involves the film's iconic plant, a small potted greenery that Léon cares for obsessively throughout the story. This simple prop became a symbol of life and hope amid chaos. What many don't realize is that the plant's growth and condition were subtly managed across filming days to reflect Léon's emotional state. The crew even had to source identical plants to maintain continuity, turning this humble prop into a small but meaningful character within the narrative. The film's soundtrack is another realm of intriguing facts. The eclectic score blends jazz, funk, and classical elements, mirroring the story's oscillation between tenderness and tension. Composer Eric Serra's work was both praised and critiqued for its unconventional approach. Notably, some scenes were shot to pre-recorded tracks, influencing actors' rhythms and performances. The music's role in shaping mood and pace cannot be overstated, becoming an integral part of the film's identity. Natalie Portman's voice acting also sparked an unusual challenge. For the English-language release, her young voice was recorded separately from many scenes to ensure clarity and emotional impact. This process required careful syncing and adjustment in post-production, a technical feat that underscored the filmmaker's dedication to quality. Portman later revealed in interviews how the emotional intensity of certain scenes required multiple takes and significant vocal control, highlighting her professionalism despite her youth. On the topic of dialogue, Gary Oldman's character delivers several lines in a distinctive, almost theatrical style. These moments were often improvised or embellished during filming, with Oldman experimenting to find the right balance between menace and eccentricity. His vocal choices added a unique flavor to the character, making Stansfield one of cinema's most memorable villains. The film also encountered controversy due to its themes and the nature of Léon and Matilda's relationship. Some critics debated the ethical implications, sparking discussions about narrative intent and character portrayal. This discourse has persisted over time, adding a layer of cultural complexity to the film's legacy. Behind the scenes, the cast and crew approached the subject with sensitivity and professionalism, ensuring the story's emotional truth remained central. Another unusual fact is related to the film's editing. The initial cut was significantly longer, with certain scenes trimmed or rearranged to improve pacing and tone. Some deleted scenes revealed deeper backstory or alternative character moments, offering a glimpse into the filmmaker's creative process and the decisions shaping the final narrative. These edits highlight the balancing act between storytelling ambition and cinematic clarity. The film's marketing and release history hold their own curiosities. It was initially released in Europe before gaining a cult following that spurred broader international success. Its reception evolved over time, with audiences increasingly appreciating its blend of action, emotion, and stylistic flair. The gradual growth of its reputation underscores how certain films resonate differently across cultures and eras. Lastly, fan culture around the film has spawned a rich legacy of homage, analysis, and creative reinterpretation. From fan art and music videos to scholarly essays, the story's themes and characters continue to inspire and provoke thought. This enduring engagement speaks to the film's layered storytelling and the profound human truths it captures. In sum, the strangest and most fascinating facts about this film's creation reveal a production steeped in passion, innovation, and complexity. From casting surprises and set challenges to musical experimentation and cultural conversations, these behind-the-scenes stories enrich our appreciation. They remind us that cinema is not just about what unfolds on screen, but the vibrant, often unpredictable journey of bringing stories to life, an adventure as compelling as the narratives themselves. The film unfolds as a complex tapestry of tension, emotion, and moral ambiguity, inviting audiences to explore not just a gripping narrative but also the deeper currents of human experience and societal reflection that course beneath the surface. Its significant events, charged with symbolic weight and narrative consequence, serve as pivotal moments that illuminate the characters' inner lives and challenge viewers to grapple with themes of innocence, survival, and redemption. Analyzing these events from a critical perspective reveals the intricate layering of storytelling craft and thematic resonance that has solidified the film's lasting impact. The opening sequences establish the film's tone, a world where violence and vulnerability coexist uneasily. The brutal murder of Matilda's family by the corrupt agent is not merely a plot catalyst but a stark commentary on the abuse of power and the fragility of innocence. This event introduces a world marred by cruelty yet ripe for unexpected connections. Critically, it forces viewers to confront the impact of systemic corruption, framing the narrative within a broader social critique. The arrival of Matilda into Léon's solitary life marks a turning point rich with symbolic and emotional significance. Her intrusion disrupts his carefully maintained isolation, initiating a dynamic interplay of dependency, protection, and mutual transformation. Critics often highlight this moment as emblematic of the film's exploration of found family and surrogate relationships. The nuanced portrayal challenges traditional archetypes, presenting a bond that defies easy categorization and invites complex emotional engagement. Léon's mentorship of Matilda, teaching her the skills of his deadly trade, is a narrative choice laden with tension and ethical ambiguity. This relationship becomes a crucible for exploring themes of innocence lost and the moral compromises forced by survival. The film deftly navigates these complexities, avoiding sensationalism in favor of a thoughtful examination of human need and agency. The teaching scenes, interspersed with moments of tenderness, underscore the duality of violence as both destructive and a means of empowerment. The cat-and-mouse conflict with the antagonist injects the narrative with escalating stakes and moral urgency. The corrupt agent's unpredictable brutality and personal vendetta represent a chaotic force that threatens to obliterate the fragile sanctuary Léon and Matilda have forged. This opposition is not merely physical but ideological, a clash between control and chaos, innocence and corruption. Critics have noted how this tension enhances the film's thriller elements while deepening its thematic complexity. Key confrontations, gunfights in cramped hallways, rooftop chases, and close-quarters combat, are choreographed with precision and emotional intensity. These sequences are more than action set pieces. They are narrative devices that externalize internal conflicts. Each encounter tests loyalties, reveals character depths, and propels the story toward its inexorable climax. The film's blending of visceral action with psychological nuance elevates these moments beyond genre conventions. The climactic sequence, where Léon makes his final stand, serves as a profound meditation on sacrifice, love, and redemption. His choice to confront overwhelming odds is imbued with emotional and symbolic significance, embodying the tension between fatalism and hope. Critics often interpret this moment as Léon's ultimate act of humanity, a relinquishing of detachment in favor of connection. The scene's pacing, visual composition, and sound design converge to create an immersive experience that lingers emotionally. Matilda's response to Léon's sacrifice is equally poignant, marking a transformation from victim to survivor. Her decision to honor Léon's legacy by pursuing her own path reflects themes of resilience and the enduring impact of human bonds. This resolution resonates as both a narrative closure and an invitation to reflect on the possibilities of healing and growth. The film's visual and auditory elements reinforce its critical themes. Cinematography employs stark contrasts between shadow and light, confinement and openness, to mirror the characters' emotional states and thematic dichotomies. Sound design integrates urban ambience with a haunting score, underscoring tension and tenderness. These techniques heighten viewers' immersion, amplifying the story's psychological and emotional layers. From a critical standpoint, the film's exploration of the ambiguous relationship between Léon and Matilda has generated extensive discourse. The narrative's handling of their bond challenges societal norms and cinematic conventions, provoking debate about morality, protection, and affection. This complexity adds depth to the film's reception, inviting nuanced analysis rather than reductive judgments. The film's impact extends beyond its narrative to its cultural and cinematic influence. It has inspired discussions on representations of violence, childhood, and found family, contributing to evolving conversations about genre and character complexity. Its stylistic choices, melding European sensibilities with Hollywood thriller conventions, have been lauded for innovation and emotional richness. Audience reception reflects the film's multifaceted appeal. Viewers are drawn by its intense action, but remain captivated by its emotional depth and thematic provocations. The film resonates on personal and societal levels, prompting reflections on loss, love, and the human capacity to endure. Its lasting popularity underscores its success in engaging hearts and minds. In sum, the film's significant events function as narrative and thematic fulcrums, articulating the tensions and hopes at its core. Through meticulous craftsmanship and profound storytelling, it invites critical engagement with challenging subjects, while offering an emotionally compelling cinematic experience. Its legacy endures as a work that transcends genre, illuminating the complexities of human connection amidst a world of darkness. The making of this film was as layered and intricate as the story it tells, a blend of artistic vision, practical challenges, and moments of unexpected magic that unfolded behind the camera. To explore the production is to journey into a world where creativity met constraint, where collaboration sparked innovation, and where the film's unique tone was shaped by a confluence of choices both deliberate and serendipitous. These insights and anecdotes reveal the heartbeat of a production dedicated to capturing a story that balances intensity with tenderness, violence with vulnerability. From the earliest days of conception, the director's vision was clear: to craft a film that defied easy categorization, blending the raw energy of an urban thriller with a deeply human tale of connection. His approach emphasized atmosphere, character nuance, and visual storytelling, seeking to evoke emotions as much through images and silences as through dialogue. This artistic intent guided every facet of production, from casting to cinematography to set design. Casting was a pivotal aspect, with the director placing immense trust in Jean Reno, Natalie Portman, and Gary Oldman to carry the emotional weight of their complex roles. Reno's understated yet commanding presence was essential to embodying Léon's stoicism and hidden depths. Remarkably, Reno had to master the physicality and precision of a hitman without relying on excessive dialogue, a challenge he met with disciplined preparation and an intuitive grasp of subtle expression. Natalie Portman, then a newcomer, faced the daunting task of portraying Matilda's mixture of innocence and hardened resolve. To prepare, she underwent intensive rehearsals, exploring her character's psychological landscape under the guidance of both the director and acting coaches. Behind the scenes, her youthful enthusiasm and professionalism endeared her to cast and crew alike, creating an atmosphere of warmth amid the film's darker themes. Gary Oldman's portrayal of Stansfield was notable for its intensity and unpredictability. Known for his immersive method acting, Oldman brought a level of spontaneity to the set that kept fellow actors alert and engaged. Anecdotes abound of Oldman improvising lines or gestures to heighten tension, making the antagonist a living, breathing force of chaos that anchored the film's conflict. The film's locations were carefully selected to reflect the gritty, claustrophobic atmosphere of the story. Many scenes were shot on location in New York City, with the production navigating the logistical challenges of filming in busy urban environments. Narrow alleyways, cramped apartments, and bustling streets were captured authentically, grounding the narrative in a tangible reality. The production team often had to coordinate around unpredictable weather, crowds, and noise, turning these obstacles into creative opportunities to enhance the film's texture. Set design played a critical role in establishing mood and character. Léon's apartment, for example, was crafted to be a physical manifestation of his personality. Minimalist, orderly, yet touched by subtle signs of life, such as his cherished plant. The attention to detail extended to props and furnishings, many sourced from thrift stores or custom-made to evoke the 1990s New York milieu. These elements lent authenticity and emotional resonance, inviting audiences into the characters' inner worlds. One memorable behind-the-scenes story involves the careful choreography of the film's intense action sequences. The production favored practical effects and meticulously planned stunts over digital augmentation, a choice that demanded extensive rehearsal and precision. Actors and stunt coordinators worked closely to ensure safety while maintaining visceral impact. For instance, the shootout scenes in confined spaces required inventive camera angles and timing to convey danger without compromising realism. Lighting and cinematography were instrumental in shaping the film's distinctive aesthetic. The cinematographer employed a palette that shifted between shadowy interiors and stark urban exteriors, using chiaroscuro to mirror the narrative's tension between concealment and exposure. On set, lighting setups were adapted to capture the nuances of performance, with soft illumination during intimate moments and harsh contrasts during confrontations. The fluid camera movements, sometimes handheld and at other times steady, guided viewers through both the chaotic cityscape and the fragile emotional landscapes. The film score, composed by Eric Serra, blends moody electronic textures with jazz and classical elements, contributing to the film's unique atmosphere. Interestingly, some scenes were filmed with the music playing on set, influencing the actors' rhythms and pacing. This approach fostered a symbiotic relationship between sound and performance, enriching the film's emotional texture. Natalie Portman's voice work involved innovative techniques to capture the youthful yet determined tone of her character. Post-production included careful synchronization of dialogue and nuanced vocal layering to convey subtle shifts in emotion. This meticulous attention ensured that the vocal performances matched the intensity and intimacy of the visuals. The plant in Léon's apartment, a seemingly minor prop, took on symbolic significance during production. The filmmakers tracked its condition throughout shooting, with its growth paralleling Léon's emotional journey. Anecdotes reveal that crew members often cared for the plant between takes, treating it as a living emblem of hope and continuity. The film also experienced some creative disagreements during editing, particularly regarding pacing and tone. Initial cuts were longer and more contemplative, but subsequent edits tightened the narrative, balancing moments of quiet reflection with bursts of action. These decisions were informed by test screenings and collaborative discussions, illustrating the evolving nature of cinematic storytelling. marketing the film presented challenges due to its genre-blending nature and provocative themes. Early promotional materials emphasized the thriller aspects, but as word of mouth spread, campaigns shifted to highlight the emotional depth and complex character relationships. This evolution helped the film reach a broader audience, contributing to its enduring popularity. Another fascinating fact involves the film's influence on later cinema and popular culture. Its stylistic blend of action and emotional narrative inspired filmmakers worldwide, while its iconic characters became touchstones for discussions about morality, mentorship, and unconventional family dynamics. The film's impact extends beyond box office success, entering the realm of cultural legacy. Throughout production, the cast and crew fostered a collaborative and supportive atmosphere despite the film's intense subject matter. Stories of camaraderie, shared meals, and mutual respect abound, reflecting a collective commitment to honoring the story's emotional truth. This spirit of collaboration is palpable in the film's nuanced performances and cohesive aesthetic. In conclusion, the behind-the-scenes journey of this film reveals a rich tapestry of artistry, innovation, and human connection. From casting choices and location challenges to musical experimentation and thematic boldness, the production embodies the creative risks and rewards of filmmaking. These insights deepen our appreciation of the film, reminding us that every frame is the product of countless decisions, passions, and moments, an intricate dance that brings stories from script to screen with life and meaning. The story unfolds amid the dense, bustling streets of New York City, a city that is more than just a backdrop. It breathes life into the narrative, shaping the characters' realities and moods with its gritty textures and relentless energy. The urban landscape is an omnipresent character itself, its towering buildings, narrow alleys, and shadowed corners framing the fragile human connections at the story's heart. Each setting, whether a cramped apartment or a bustling street, is meticulously crafted to deepen the film's emotional resonance and thematic complexity. Léon's apartment is perhaps the most intimate and telling space within the film's world. Small, sparsely furnished, and bathed in muted tones, it reflects Léon's solitary, disciplined existence. The simplicity of the space, with its bare walls and the singular, carefully tended plant, embodies both austerity and a silent yearning for life and growth. The apartment is a sanctuary, a bubble of calm amidst the chaos of the city and Léon's violent profession. Cinematographically, the confined space is captured through tight framing and soft lighting, emphasizing Léon's isolation yet hinting at a quiet warmth beneath his stoic exterior. Contrasting sharply with this personal refuge are the film's exterior locations, New York streets, parks, and industrial zones, rendered with a raw, almost tangible texture. The city pulses with life and danger. Graffiti-scarred walls, flickering neon signs, and throngs of pedestrians create a vivid sense of place. These settings are often shot with a handheld camera, lending immediacy and instability that mirror the unpredictability of the characters' lives. The constant interplay of light and shadow in these spaces reflects the moral ambiguities and hidden threats that permeate the story. The film's use of locations extends beyond mere realism. Each space is chosen and framed to serve narrative and symbolic functions. For instance, the cramped stairwells and narrow hallways where much of the film's action unfolds underscore themes of entrapment and tension. The claustrophobic architecture mirrors the characters' psychological states, trapped by circumstance, hunted by enemies, confined by their pasts. The camera's movement through these spaces, sometimes jittery, sometimes languid, heightens the emotional intensity and draws viewers into the visceral experience of pursuit and concealment. Public spaces like grocery stores, playgrounds, and city parks provide moments of contrast, offering brief glimpses of normalcy and childhood innocence. These scenes are often suffused with natural light and wider shots, creating a sense of openness that stands in stark relief to the film's darker, enclosed settings. Such juxtapositions emphasize the precariousness of the characters' worlds, where moments of peace are fragile and fleeting. The antagonist's environments, particularly the sterile, imposing government offices and the cold, impersonal interiors of law enforcement, are depicted with sharp, clinical lighting and rigid compositions. These spaces evoke authority and menace, reinforcing the systemic corruption and abuse of power embodied by Stansfield. The contrast between these austere settings and Léon's lived-in spaces underscores the thematic conflict between humanity and institutionalized violence. Lighting throughout the film is a masterclass in mood creation and thematic layering. Shadows dominate, swallowing corners and faces, suggesting the pervasive presence of danger and moral ambiguity. Yet pockets of light, soft glows from street lamps, sunlight filtering through windows, offer moments of warmth and hope. The chiaroscuro technique employed by the cinematographer crafts a visual language that speaks as powerfully as dialogue, articulating internal states and narrative tension. Color palettes reinforce the film's emotional tenor. Léon's world is painted in muted earth tones, browns, grays, and deep greens, reflecting his grounded, no-nonsense persona. Matilda's presence introduces subtle bursts of brighter colors, her clothing and surroundings occasionally punctuated with youthful hues that signal innocence and vitality. The antagonist scenes, by contrast, favor cold blues and harsh whites, heightening a sense of menace and institutional coldness. Camera work is dynamic and purposeful, ranging from static, contemplative shots that linger on character expressions to frenetic, kinetic sequences during moments of action. The interplay of these techniques balances psychological depth with visceral excitement. Tracking shots follow characters through the labyrinthine cityscape, immersing viewers in their precarious journeys. Close-ups capture the nuanced emotions that words cannot convey: fear, hope, determination, drawing audiences into the characters' inner worlds. The film's visual composition often employs framing to emphasize relationships and emotional states. Léon and Matilda are frequently positioned in ways that highlight their connection. Shared spaces within tight frames or mirror gestures, while isolation is underscored by physical separation or framing that places characters at opposite ends of the screen. These choices subtly communicate shifts in trust, intimacy, and tension. Set dressing and props are meticulously curated to enhance authenticity and symbolism. Everyday objects, a battered suitcase, a worn baseball glove, Léon's carefully cleaned weapons, anchor the story in a tangible reality while carrying emotional significance. The recurring image of Léon's plant serves as a living metaphor for growth, care, and resilience, its presence quietly threading through the film's visual narrative. Sound design weaves seamlessly with the visual elements, creating an immersive sensory environment. The ambient noises of the city, distant sirens, footsteps echoing in alleys, the murmur of crowds, build a living soundscape that grounds scenes in their setting. Moments of quiet are punctuated by subtle musical cues or the gentle rustling of the plant's leaves, enhancing intimacy and tension. The soundtrack further shapes the film's atmosphere, blending melancholic melodies with pulsating rhythms that underscore emotional and narrative beats. Music cues are carefully timed to elevate key moments without overwhelming the naturalistic soundscape, allowing for a rich interplay between silence and sound. In essence, the film's settings and cinematic elements do far more than establish place. They embody character, mood, and theme. The urban environment, captured with both realism and poetic symbolism, reflects the film's exploration of vulnerability amid violence, connection amid isolation. Through thoughtful lighting, color, composition, and sound, the filmmakers create a world that is at once harsh and tender, dangerous and deeply human. This immersive environment invites viewers not only to witness the unfolding drama but to feel it, to experience the claustrophobia of entrapment, the fleeting relief of sanctuary, and the fragile hope kindled by human connection. It is a cinematic landscape where every shadow and ray of light tells a story, and every corner hides a secret, drawing audiences into a narrative as complex and compelling as the city itself. The making of this film is a story rich with its own unexpected twists and moments of magic, a tapestry woven not just from the script and performances, but from the real-life interactions, challenges, and joyful discoveries that unfolded behind the scenes. To journey into this hidden world is to witness how the passion, creativity, and camaraderie of the cast and crew shaped a cinematic experience that resonates so powerfully today. These behind-the-scenes insights illuminate the human heart of a production where artistry met unpredictability, and where the bonds forged off-camera imbued every frame with vitality. From the outset, the set was charged with a unique energy, born of the film's tonal balance, gritty and intense, yet tender and nuanced. The director's vision of blending stylized action with emotional intimacy required a collaborative spirit and openness to experimentation. Cast and crew often describe an atmosphere that encouraged improvisation and mutual respect, where ideas flowed freely and unexpected moments were welcomed rather than feared. Jean Reno, who inhabited the titular role with remarkable restraint and depth, was known on set for his calm professionalism coupled with a dry sense of humor. Despite playing a man of few words on screen, Reno was approachable and engaging off-camera, often sharing anecdotes and lightening the mood during long shooting days. His dedication to authenticity led him to study the behavior and movements of real-life professional assassins, incorporating subtle physicality that lent credibility to his portrayal. Anecdotes from co-stars reveal how Reno's quiet presence created a steadying force on set, fostering a supportive environment. Natalie Portman, cast at only 12 years old, impressed everyone with her focus and maturity. Behind the scenes, she was a curious and eager learner, often asking thoughtful questions about her character's motivations and the story's themes. Despite her youth, she displayed professionalism beyond her years, adapting quickly to the demands of shooting intense scenes and complex dialogue. Crew members recall moments when Portman's youthful energy infused the set with vitality, balancing the film's darker elements with moments of levity. Her ability to convey deep emotion while maintaining a disciplined work ethic earned her respect and admiration. Gary Oldman's portrayal of the volatile antagonist was marked by an intense commitment to character. Known for his method approach, Oldman brought unpredictability to the set, often improvising lines and physical gestures that kept the cast alert and the scenes charged with energy. His immersion into the role sometimes caused tension on set, but it also pushed performances to new heights. Directors and co-stars recount instances where Oldman's spontaneous outbursts and eccentric mannerisms transformed routine takes into electrifying moments, elevating the film's emotional stakes. One memorable behind-the-scenes story centers on the shooting of the film's iconic shootout sequences. The confined spaces and complex choreography presented significant logistical challenges. To capture the raw intensity while ensuring safety, the stunt coordinators and cinematographers worked closely to design precise movements and camera angles. Actors underwent extensive rehearsals with stunt doubles, perfecting timing to convey realism without injury. The use of practical effects, realistic gunfire, controlled explosions, and physical props required coordination and trust among all involved. Several crew members speak fondly of the teamwork and adrenaline that characterized these sequences, highlighting them as some of the most rewarding and challenging moments of the shoot. The design and decoration of Léon's apartment offer another fascinating glimpse into the production's attention to detail. The set designers painstakingly assembled a space that reflected the character's solitary, meticulous nature. The recurring motif of Léon's plant, a symbol of life and care amidst isolation, was treated with special significance. The plant's condition was monitored throughout filming, with multiple identical specimens used to maintain continuity. Crew anecdotes reveal how the plant became a beloved symbol on set, cared for by cast and crew alike, embodying the film's themes of growth and resilience. Shooting on location in New York City brought its own set of surprises and challenges. The city's unpredictable nature, weather fluctuations, noise interruptions, pedestrian traffic, required flexibility and quick thinking from the production team. Several outdoor scenes were adjusted on the fly, with directors and cinematographers adapting lighting and blocking to changing conditions. Crew members recount moments when a sudden rainstorm or a bustling crowd serendipitously enhanced the scene's realism and atmosphere. These adaptations underscore the dynamic interplay between planned artistry and spontaneous reality in filmmaking. The film's sound design and musical scoring involved innovative approaches that fostered creative synergy. Composer Eric Serra collaborated closely with the director and editors, integrating mood-setting cues that ranged from haunting electronic textures to jazzy, soulful interludes. On set, music was sometimes played to establish tone and rhythm, influencing actor performances and pacing. The blending of soundscapes, city noise, dialogue, music, was carefully balanced in post-production, with sound engineers crafting layers that envelop the audience and heighten emotional engagement. A particularly charming behind-the-scenes insight relates to the cast's interpersonal dynamics. Despite the film's intense subject matter, the actors form strong bonds of friendship and mutual support. Shared meals, informal gatherings, and off-camera conversations fostered a sense of community that eased the pressures of the demanding shoot. These relationships contributed to the natural chemistry seen on screen, especially between Reno and Portman, whose nuanced rapport anchors much of the film's emotional weight. The film also faced scrutiny and controversy during its production and release, particularly regarding the nature of Léon and Matilda's relationship. The cast and crew navigated these sensitive issues with professionalism and thoughtfulness, emphasizing the story's emotional complexity rather than sensationalism. Discussions and interviews reveal a collective commitment to portraying the characters with respect and depth, allowing audiences to engage with the narrative's challenging themes in a mature and nuanced manner. Editing presented its own set of creative decisions and compromises. Early cuts of the film included longer, more contemplative scenes that were later trimmed to maintain narrative momentum. Test screenings informed adjustments to pacing and tone, balancing moments of quiet intimacy with bursts of kinetic energy. The editing process was a collaborative effort involving the director, editors, and producers, aiming to preserve the story's emotional integrity while crafting a compelling cinematic rhythm. Marketing the film required thoughtful strategies to capture its multifaceted appeal. Initial campaigns focused on the action thriller elements but evolved to emphasize the emotional depth and complex character relationships as word of mouth spread. The film's unique blend of styles posed challenges but ultimately contributed to its cult status and enduring popularity. In retrospect, many involved described the production as a transformative experience. The blend of intense subject matter, artistic innovation, and human connection fostered a creative environment that challenged and inspired. The challenges faced, technical, logistical, and emotional, were met with ingenuity and resilience, mirroring the film's themes of survival and transformation. Ultimately, these behind-the-scenes stories remind us that filmmaking is a profoundly human endeavor. It is shaped not only by scripts and cameras but by the passions, struggles, and collaborations of those who bring stories to life. The production of this film stands as a testament to the power of collective creativity and the enduring magic that arises when vision and dedication converge. The film weaves a rich tapestry of themes and symbolism that invite viewers to look beyond its surface narrative and into the deeper human truths it explores. At its core, it is a meditation on loneliness and connection, innocence and experience, violence and redemption, a complex interplay of contrasts that resonate throughout the story. The themes pulse beneath every frame, while symbolism imbues the visuals and character interactions with layers of meaning, enriching the viewer's understanding and emotional engagement. One of the film's central themes is the paradox of isolation and companionship. Léon, the solitary hitman, embodies a life defined by distance, physical, emotional, and moral. His apartment, sparse and controlled, is both refuge and prison, a sanctuary where he cultivates a fragile semblance of order amid chaos. Yet, beneath his stoic exterior lies a profound loneliness, a yearning for connection that he barely acknowledges. The arrival of Matilda disrupts this solitude, offering a chance for intimacy and care that both challenges and redeems him. Their relationship, uneasy, unconventional, yet deeply human, explores the necessity of connection even in the most unlikely circumstances. The film suggests that survival is not just physical but emotional, and that healing often requires reaching beyond self-imposed barriers. In contrast, Matilda represents both vulnerability and fierce resilience. Her youthful innocence is shattered by trauma, forcing her into premature maturity and a relentless quest for agency. Her spirited defiance and determination to learn Léon's lethal skills reflect a desperate assertion of control in a world that has stripped her of safety. Through her character, the film grapples with themes of lost innocence and the transformative power of empowerment. Matilda's journey underscores how trauma shapes identity and how resilience can manifest in unexpected ways. The theme of morality is intricately examined through the film's portrayal of violence and its consequences. Léon's profession places him on the fringes of legality and ethics, yet the film portrays him with a code of honor that complicates simplistic notions of good and evil. His actions, though violent, are governed by discipline and restraint, contrasting sharply with the reckless brutality of the antagonist. This dichotomy invites reflection on the nature of justice, mercy, and the human capacity for both destruction and compassion. The film refuses easy moral judgments, instead presenting a nuanced portrait of characters navigating a morally ambiguous world. Redemption and sacrifice emerge as poignant thematic currents, culminating in the film's climax and resolution. Léon's gradual opening to Matilda and his ultimate selflessness embody a journey toward atonement, an attempt to reclaim humanity through love and protection. The narrative suggests that even in a world marked by violence, acts of sacrifice can restore meaning and forge lasting bonds. This theme resonates powerfully, inviting viewers to consider the possibilities of grace amid darkness. Symbolism is deftly employed to deepen these themes and enrich the narrative texture. Perhaps the most iconic symbol is Léon's plant, a small potted greenery he tends with care. This fragile living thing becomes a metaphor for hope, nurture, and resilience. Just as Léon cultivates life in his controlled environment, the plant symbolizes the possibility of growth and renewal amid desolation. Its presence throughout the film anchors Léon's character, reflecting his concealed capacity for tenderness and the delicate nature of life itself. Doors and thresholds recur as symbolic motifs, representing transitions, barriers, and choices. Scenes featuring closed, open, or partially ajar doors underscore moments of opportunity, danger, or separation. For Léon and Matilda, crossing these thresholds signifies movement between isolation and connection, innocence and experience, safety and peril. This imagery echoes the characters' psychological journeys and the broader theme of transformation. The urban environment itself functions symbolically, a maze of concrete and shadow that reflects the complexity and harshness of the characters' lives. The city's labyrinthine streets and hidden corners mirror the entanglements of their circumstances, while its indifferent bustle underscores themes of anonymity and alienation. Yet within this harsh landscape, pockets of warmth and humanity emerge, embodied in intimate spaces and moments of care. The film's use of light and shadow further amplifies its thematic resonance. Scenes bathed in darkness evoke fear, uncertainty, and moral ambiguity, while shafts of light suggest hope, revelation, and emotional openness. The interplay of illumination and obscurity parallels the characters' inner conflicts and evolving relationships, creating a visual dialogue that enriches the storytelling. Colors are employed with subtlety to convey mood and character. Léon's world is painted in muted earth tones, browns, grays, greens, that evoke stability and restraint. Matilda's presence introduces occasional bursts of brighter hues, signaling vitality and youthful energy. The antagonist scenes are marked by cold blues and stark whites, reinforcing themes of menace and institutional corruption. These chromatic choices support the narrative's emotional contours. Sound and music are also laden with symbolic meaning. The film's score blends melancholy melodies with rhythmic pulses, underscoring tension and tenderness. The recurring sound motifs, city noises, the rustle of leaves, whispered conversations, create an auditory landscape that echoes the characters' inner lives and the film's thematic currents. The juxtaposition of violence and tenderness is central to the film's symbolic language. Scenes of brutal action are interspersed with moments of quiet intimacy, highlighting the fragile humanity beneath harsh realities. This contrast challenges viewers to reconsider assumptions about strength and vulnerability, danger and care. The relationship between Léon and Matilda, while fraught and ambiguous, symbolizes the potential for healing and redemption through human connection. Their shared experiences and mutual dependence transcend conventional roles, embodying a form of found family that defies societal norms. This dynamic invites reflection on the nature of love, protection, and the human need for belonging. Ultimately, the film's themes and symbolism converge to create a narrative that is both visceral and poetic, a story that grapples with darkness yet finds light in unexpected places. Through its exploration of isolation and connection, morality and redemption, innocence and experience, it speaks to universal human struggles. The symbols woven throughout, plants, doors, shadows, and light, serve as visual metaphors that deepen emotional impact and invite contemplation. This rich thematic and symbolic fabric ensures the film's enduring resonance. It challenges audiences not only to witness a compelling story but to engage with its layered meanings and emotional truths. In doing so, it transforms from a mere narrative into a meditation on the complexities of life, the power of compassion, and the possibility of hope amid adversity, a cinematic experience as profound as it is unforgettable. The art of filmmaking is a delicate balance of vision, technique, and collaboration, an intricate dance where every choice shapes the world viewers inhabit and the emotions they feel. In this film, the director and crew crafted a cinematic experience that transcends conventional genres, blending action, drama, and intimacy into a seamless whole. The filmmaking techniques employed serve not merely as tools but as storytellers in their own right, forging an atmosphere that is at once gritty and tender, suspenseful and deeply human. Exploring these methods reveals how visual language, sound, editing, and camera work coalesce to immerse audiences in a world both dangerous and poignant. At the heart of the film's aesthetic is a cinematographic approach that skillfully balances precision and fluidity. The director of photography crafted compositions that emphasize contrast between light and shadow, confinement and openness, to mirror the characters' emotional landscapes. The use of chiaroscuro lighting is particularly striking. Harsh shadows envelop characters during moments of tension, while softer, diffused light bathes scenes of intimacy and reflection. This interplay heightens mood, visually articulating the oscillation between fear and hope that permeates the narrative. Camera work is dynamic and purposeful. During the film's quieter, character-driven moments, the camera often employs steady, lingering shots that allow expressions and gestures to unfold naturally, inviting viewers into the protagonist's inner worlds. In contrast, action sequences are captured with handheld cameras and rapid movements, conveying immediacy and chaos. Tracking shots follow characters through labyrinthine cityscapes, heightening the sense of pursuit and entrapment. These shifts in camera style are not mere aesthetics but narrative devices, guiding emotional responses and deepening engagement. Framing and composition further reinforce thematic elements. Characters are often positioned to emphasize isolation or connection. Solitary figures framed by imposing urban architecture evoke loneliness, while shared frames highlight evolving bonds. The use of reflections and windows introduces layers of visual metaphor, suggesting hidden depths and fractured realities. The director's careful attention to spatial relationships transforms settings into extensions of character psyche. Editing plays a crucial role in shaping the film's rhythm and tension. The narrative's pacing balances moments of intense action with slower, contemplative scenes. Rapid cuts during shootouts and chases generate adrenaline and suspense, while longer takes in intimate scenes allow emotional nuances to resonate. Cross-cutting interweaves parallel storylines, building momentum and emphasizing thematic parallels. The editing choices maintain narrative clarity while sustaining viewer immersion. Sound design is meticulously crafted to envelop viewers in the film's world. Ambient city noises, sirens, distant conversations, traffic, create a textured soundscape that grounds scenes in their urban setting. This realistic layering contrasts with the musical score, which blends melancholic melodies with rhythmic pulses. The music underscores emotional beats without overwhelming the natural soundscape, enhancing atmosphere and mood. Dialogue recording and mixing prioritize clarity and emotional subtlety. Voices are captured with a sensitivity that preserves nuances of tone and inflection, allowing performances to convey unspoken depths. The interplay of silence and sound heightens tension, with moments of quiet amplifying the impact of ensuing action or revelation. Production design and costume contribute significantly to storytelling. Sets are designed with meticulous attention to detail, reflecting character and theme. Léon's apartment, for example, is minimalist yet personal, its sparse furnishings contrasting with the chaotic city outside. Costume choices reinforce identity and transformation. Léon's utilitarian clothing echoes his disciplined nature, while Matilda's evolving wardrobe marks her journey from child to survivor. Color palettes in design echo the film's emotional contours, supporting visual storytelling. Practical effects and stunt work enhance realism and visceral impact. The film favors in-camera effects and physical choreography over digital enhancement. Stunt coordinators crafted sequences that balanced safety with intensity, involving rehearsals and precise timing. The use of real props and effects grounds action in tangible reality, immersing audiences in the danger and urgency of the narrative. Lighting setups vary to support mood shifts. Harsh fluorescence in institutional scenes conveys sterility and menace, while warm, natural light in domestic or reflective moments evokes intimacy. These choices guide viewer emotions and underscore thematic contrasts. The film's use of color grading further refines visual tone. Desaturated hues dominate urban scenes, enhancing a sense of bleakness and isolation, while selective saturation highlights moments of hope or emotional intensity. This subtle manipulation deepens atmosphere without distracting from narrative. Soundtrack integration is innovative. Composer Eric Serra's work merges with environmental sounds, influencing pacing and tone. Some scenes were shot with pre-recorded music, shaping performances and camera movement. This synergy between score and scene elevates storytelling, making music an active participant rather than background. The editing process involved balancing the film's complex tones. Initial cuts were longer, featuring more contemplative scenes. Test screenings guided tightening of pacing, ensuring the narrative maintained momentum without sacrificing emotional depth. Collaborative decision-making between director and editors preserved thematic integrity while enhancing cinematic flow. Marketing strategies reflected the film's genre-blending nature. Early campaigns highlighted action elements, later shifting to emphasize emotional complexity and character dynamics. This evolution broadened audience appeal and contributed to the film's cult status. Box office reception was strong, bolstered by positive critical response to its stylistic innovation and emotional resonance. The film's blend of thrilling action and tender storytelling attracted diverse audiences, cementing its place in cinematic history. In sum, the film's filmmaking techniques are integral to its enduring power. Through deliberate cinematography, evocative lighting, immersive sound design, and dynamic editing, the filmmakers crafted a world that is as emotionally rich as it is visually compelling. These choices invite viewers into the story's heart, where danger and tenderness coexist, and where every frame speaks volumes beyond words. The result is a cinematic experience that lingers, challenging and captivating audiences with its artistry and humanity. The film's heartbeat pulses strongest through the lives and voices of those who brought its story to life. The cast, whose performances transform script into soul. The interviews, where reflections unveil the layers beneath the performances. And the audience, whose reactions continue to echo across years, shaping the film's legacy. To journey into this human constellation is to understand how art is made and received, how characters leap from celluloid into hearts, and how a story evolves beyond the frame into cultural conversation. Jean Reno's portrayal of Léon remains a masterstroke of subtlety and strength. Known for his quiet intensity, Reno infused the character with a blend of stoicism and hidden tenderness that has become iconic. In interviews, Reno has spoken candidly about the challenge of playing a man who communicates more through silence than words. He described studying the mannerisms of professional hitmen to capture authenticity without glamorizing violence. Reno's approach was less about spectacle and more about emotional truth, showing how a hardened exterior could mask profound loneliness and capacity for love. His dedication to nuance earned him critical acclaim and the affection of audiences worldwide, who found in Léon a figure both mysterious and deeply human. Natalie Portman's breakthrough role as Matilda showcased a precocious talent that belied her youth. Her performance, vulnerable yet fierce, innocent yet wise beyond years, captured the complex emotional terrain of a child thrust into brutal circumstances. In interviews, Portman has reflected on the emotional demands of the role and the careful guidance she received from the director and co-stars. She described the process of inhabiting Matilda's contradictory nature, the longing for family and the hunger for revenge. Portman's professionalism and depth of insight earned respect on set and in the wider industry, launching a career marked by thoughtful, layered performances. Audiences connected with her portrayal's authenticity, often citing Matilda's resilience and spirited determination as a source of inspiration. Gary Oldman's portrayal of the unpredictable antagonist brought a volatile energy that electrified the film. Known for his chameleon-like transformations, Oldman immersed himself fully, creating a character whose erratic behavior and chilling menace unsettled both cast and viewers. Behind the scenes, Oldman's improvisations and intense commitment kept the atmosphere charged with tension. His willingness to explore the character's darker impulses while maintaining a certain humanity added complexity to the role. Interviews reveal Oldman's fascination with the psychological depths of villainy, viewing Stansfield as a study in power's corrupting influence. Critics and audiences alike praised Oldman's performance as a highlight, one that elevated the film's stakes and emotional texture. The director's voice adds another dimension to understanding the film's creation and impact. Known for his visual storytelling and ability to blend genres, he spoke in interviews about the delicate balance between stylized action and intimate character work. He emphasized the importance of preserving emotional authenticity amid violence, aiming to explore themes of loneliness, protection, and unexpected kinship. The director encouraged actors to bring personal insights to their roles, fostering a collaborative environment that enriched performances. His reflections reveal a thoughtful, deliberate approach to crafting a film that resonates on multiple levels: visceral, psychological, and poetic. Supporting cast members contributed vital layers to the narrative, their portrayals fleshing out the story's social and emotional landscape. Tony, Léon's close friend, added warmth and humanity, providing moments of levity and insight into Léon's world. The actors playing Stansfield's henchmen and the neighbors brought authenticity to the urban milieu, grounding the story in a lived reality. Interviews with these performers highlight the collaborative spirit on set and the shared commitment to honoring the story's emotional core. Audience reviews reveal the film's profound and lasting impact. Many viewers have spoken of being captivated by the unique blend of suspense and tenderness, praising the performances that made characters unforgettable. The relationship between Léon and Matilda, while controversial to some, sparked meaningful discussions about unconventional family, trauma, and healing. Fans often cite the film as a personal favorite, noting its ability to evoke a wide spectrum of emotions, from fear and sorrow to hope and warmth. Critics' responses evolved over time, with initial reactions acknowledging the film's stylish direction and compelling performances, and later analyses delving deeper into its thematic complexity and moral ambiguity. Scholarly essays and film studies have examined its genre-defying qualities, its exploration of ethical dilemmas, and its cultural significance. The film's standing has grown, becoming a touchstone in conversations about cinematic portrayals of violence, childhood, and surrogate relationships. Fan culture has flourished around the film, with tributes ranging from artwork and music inspired by its mood, to academic discussions and fan communities dissecting its narrative and symbolism. Special anniversary screenings and retrospectives celebrate its enduring relevance and emotional power. The film's ability to inspire ongoing dialogue speaks to its layered storytelling and the universal themes it engages. In the broader cultural landscape, the film has influenced filmmakers and actors alike, becoming a reference point for nuanced character studies and genre blending. Its stylistic flourishes and complex relationships have been cited in interviews and analyses as groundbreaking, contributing to evolving cinematic language. Ultimately, the cast's dedication, the director's vision, and the audience's passionate engagement form a triad that sustains the film's life beyond its original release. Their voices, spoken and unspoken, create a living legacy, a shared conversation that continues to unfold. Through interviews and reviews, through memories and reinterpretations, the story breathes anew, inviting each generation to discover its depths and reflect on its truths. This dynamic interplay between creation and reception enriches the film's place in cinematic history. It reminds us that films are not static artifacts but living dialogues, between storytellers and viewers, between image and emotion, between past and present. The cast's performances, illuminated by their reflections, and the audience's heartfelt responses, together weave a tapestry of meaning that endures, making the film not only a work of art but a shared human experience. The journey we've taken together through this film has been one of intricate layers and deep emotional currents, a voyage that navigated not just the gripping storyline but the myriad forces that shaped its creation, its meaning, and its enduring resonance. From the quiet solitude of a hitman's life to the fierce determination of a young girl fighting for justice, this story unfolds as a profound meditation on connection amid chaos, innocence confronted with brutality, and the fragile hope that flickers even in the darkest moments. We began by immersing ourselves in the cinematic world where every shadow and light tells a story, where the bustling streets and confined apartments become characters in their own right. The setting, with its raw urban textures and intimate spaces, framed the narrative with authenticity and emotional depth. The film's visual language, through lighting, framing, and color, crafted an atmosphere that was both tense and tender, allowing viewers to experience the characters' struggles and hopes as visceral realities. Our deep dive into the plot uncovered the delicate balance between suspenseful action and heartfelt human drama. We witnessed the evolution of a bond forged in adversity, the moral ambiguities of survival, and the ultimate sacrifices that define the story's climax. These narrative beats not only propelled the story forward but invited reflection on themes of love, protection, and redemption. The characters themselves, complex, flawed, and profoundly human, stood at the film's core. Léon's quiet strength and hidden vulnerability, Matilda's fierce resilience and yearning for family, and the menacing force of the antagonist together created a tapestry of contrasts that enriched the narrative texture. Their journeys offered insight into the nature of loneliness and connection, the cost of violence, and the possibility of transformation. Behind the scenes, we uncovered a world where artistry and human collaboration converged. From casting breakthroughs to technical innovations, from on-location challenges to moments of off-camera camaraderie, the production was a testament to the dedication and creativity that brings stories to life. These anecdotes deepen our appreciation, reminding us that filmmaking is a profoundly human endeavor, shaped by passion and perseverance. The film's themes and symbolism resonated throughout, weaving subtle threads of meaning into its narrative fabric. Symbols like Léon's plant and recurring imagery of doors and thresholds enriched the storytelling, illuminating the characters' inner worlds and the story's larger truths. Themes of isolation and connection, innocence and experience, morality and sacrifice offered fertile ground for contemplation and emotional engagement. Cinematography, sound design, editing, and music combined to create an immersive sensory experience. The dynamic camera work, evocative lighting, layered soundscape, and carefully crafted score guided viewers through the film's emotional and narrative rhythms. These techniques transformed the film from a story into an experience, a journey felt as much in the body and heart as in the mind. The voices of the cast, directors, and audiences added living dimensions to the film's legacy. Their reflections, critiques, and celebrations sustain a dialogue that keeps the story alive, inviting each new viewer to engage with its complexities and wonders. The film's cultural impact, enduring popularity, and influence across generations underscore its power as a work of art and human expression. As we close this exploration, we are reminded that cinema is more than entertainment. It is a mirror reflecting the human condition, a bridge connecting isolated souls, and a canvas where stories of love, loss, and hope are painted with light and shadow. This film stands as a testament to that power, offering not only a gripping narrative but a profound meditation on what it means to be human.